up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Never Miss Mondays podcast. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Matthew.
What's up, gang? How are we feeling? It's been a week.
Crazy.
Swear. I'm just happy to be on my own freaking couch right now.
I'm not in a different state.
No shit. Happy to not be on a plane, a hotel, an airport, a gas station. I'm happy to be in my own accord. So, today we're going to talk about how we balance health and fitness while working full time, and obviously now that I've been traveling. So, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. So, let's get into it. So, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go. So, in case you haven't got the memo, I work pretty much all the time.
24/7.
Yes, basically. But I think that's a big thing to talk about. Obviously, being in the online coaching space, there are a lot of people who are coaches and don't work full-time in-person jobs. And while absolutely I'm jealous, I wish that could be me, and that's so freaking amazing, the reality is a lot of us do work in person, and we don't have that luxury to not work in person. And then again, a lot of us travel. So, and then from like a client's perspective, like yourself, you work too. So it's the relatability of clients being able to see they're getting advice from someone who doesn't get to home cook all their meals, that, has to have a routine, that has to go to the gym at like an odd time because they can't go at like 10 a.m. or something like that. So, it's always been a big topic, and I feel like that's always helped me as a coach, like being relatable to clients, is because I get it. Like, I work full time in person as well, and then I also work as soon as I get home for 3 to 4 hours on my laptop doing coaching. So, like, I get it. So, we're going to talk about why I am a certified hater of the I'm too busy excuse. I am a certified 100% bachelor's degree hater.
More like a master's degree.
Master's degree hater of I don't have time. I promise you got time. I promise you got time. I used to believe me, I get it. I used to use the excuse myself. I worked a 9 to 5 and I said I didn't have time. Where? How did I not have time? How did I not have time? You just get so used to believing your own excuses. Like, that's the realization that you have to have. Here's what I'm going to tell you, is if you keep finding yourself saying, I'm too busy, I don't have time, I work this job, so I can't do it, I can't do this, I can't do that. Try it. And I'm serious on this. Like, don't just try it. Like, do it. Figure out a way to do it for 3 weeks, 100% consistency, and I promise you it's not going to be as hard as you think. Because I had to have that realization of like, oh, I can't track weekends because I travel, or I just need to have balance. Whole other topic I talked about. But I just don't track Friday through Sunday because blah, 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 blah. I thought it was the hardest thing in the world. Did it a couple times and I was like, I'm such a wimp. I'm such a wimp. Like, this is embarrassing. Like, what was I doing? Like, and so you just fall into the convincing yourself of that. So that is the realization that you have to have for yourself is, and the tips I'm going to give you are coming from someone who gets up 5 o'clock in the morning and works from 8 till 4, 5 o'clock, and then usually has cardio or gym after that or whatever, and then comes home and works coaching for at least an hour or two.
Yeah.
Like,
it's usually around 2.5, 3 hours.
If it's check-ins, it's usually, pushing 3-ish. But if I don't have check-ins, it's like 1.5 usually. So then working on that, and then doing social media content creation, and then living, being a human, being a partner, like all those kinds of things. And I can be a bodybuilder. So I promise you, and I'm saying this with tough love because I care about you and I want you to know that you're capable. It's not that I'm yelling at you or that you're bad or it's disappointing. But someone has to be able to give you the realization that you can do more. And that's going to be me today. So, I promise you there are ways. So everything I'm going to talk about tips-wise is coming from someone who fucking gets it. Like, we get it. I'm not going to sit here and say, go get your eggs from your farm and at 11 o'clock in the morning, you're going to rise from the sunshine and just fry your eggs with your bacon. No, I'm having 6-day-old chicken that's cold. Like, so.
Gotta suck it up.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. So let's get into it. So,
Let's do it.
you know I'm a big person on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the busy excuse all the time. So I guess we'll kind of get into it. One is we already had the conversation of like being partners. So like having the conversation with your partner. And, you know, I think this goes into that too. Like talking to your partner is going to be so helpful in your journey. You know, we talked about that, and I think is especially a big thing for you as a partner for a bodybuilder, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Communication, talk.
Yeah.
Communicate, and if you need help, ask for help.
Yeah, for you and like family members. We already kind of talked about that. So, this is more for like work and stuff because it could be hard because, you know, your family and your partner, whatever, like hopefully it shouldn't be a hard conversation with them, but with work, it might be a little bit different, or it might be an awkward environment. And corporate America is the most unhealthy, lazy environment you will ever find yourself in. Like, it's horrible. Like, the normal in corporate America is disgusting. Disgusting. I need to take a drink before I get into this. No, I had this realization, and that's literally, fun fact, the entire reason why I started working out, because I joined the corporate world and I said, I can't do this. I saw what these people do every day, and I was baffled. And, I mean, it's roll out of bed in the morning, maybe eat breakfast. And if you are eating breakfast, it's either fast food that you're bringing with you into the office that you got on your way to work, or it's people ordered donuts and they're in the break room and they're eating donuts, or it's freaking a Mountain Dew and hot Cheetos and a honey bun. Like, it's disgusting. And so it's a hard conversation to have when you're bringing in like egg whites or like chicken and green beans for lunch, and then lunchtime comes around. And in corporate America, nobody brings their lunch. Apparently no one knew what a lunchbox was after they got out of elementary school. And so then for lunch, we're either going to DoorDash, Taco Bell, or roller hot dogs from Quick Trip, or I'm going to just not eat again, or I'm just going to snack on another Mountain Dew and potato chips. And then for dinner, I don't know, I don't even want to know what they do for dinner. But everyone sits at their desk all day. No one drinks water. No one takes any vitamins or supplements. No one gets steps in. No one works out. It is heinous. Corporate America is just grinds my gears. It really does. Makes me itchy thinking about it. So coming into an environment like that, and you're like, I don't partake in these things. What do you do, right? So, and I think for you too, you're not necessarily in corporate America, but I mean, even in like being young is hard too, but even just in like any job, which luckily like a lot of the time you were working was like in a gym, so like it was kind of a little bit more normal.
Yeah, but when I wasn't in a gym, it was like still had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Do something.
You're still having conversations with people, so it's really like for you, like you don't have like the corporate America side of things, but you still like had to have conversations. Like if coworkers wanted to go out and like get drinks, or they were ordering lunch, or you know, like just your workout schedule, whatever.
Yeah, that, and then also just like when I like blue collar jobs, so construction or warehouse work.
Yeah.
Most of those places, like
people would just get stuff from the vending machine,
or they'll pay
for the
or
food
the company
trucks.
pays for like a food truck to come out, and
Yeah.
then it's just a bunch of
hot, nasty, greasy food on a 90-degree day.
Exactly. So then it's just like pretty much just eating junk.
Yeah.
So
and not hydrating yourself. Yeah, I mean, those were people that were working, 8-10 hour shifts in 90-degree weather in labor jobs, drinking no water, drinking only soda, like
Coming into work at 7 a.m. on cup number like 4 or 5 coffee, and then drinking 2 more in the beginning once they
having
get
a
there.
monster.
Then yeah, waiting like maybe 45 minutes, going to the vending machine, getting a Red Bull Monster, and then making that last them. So usually all of that, they're not even hungry, so they didn't eat breakfast, they didn't eat lunch. They might have gotten like a Snickers or like a bag of chips on a vending machine, just to like, well, it's too late. I'm just gonna wait till I eat dinner, and then dinner is they overeat. Like,
Mac and cheese.
yeah, and then there's a bunch of just like still greasy food.
My God. Yeah, it's America is a place.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. America is a place. I love America for a lot of things, but there's a lot of unhealthy habits in the world, and you will realize them very quickly being an adult in the workplace, no matter what workplace you're in. Unless personal training is a job, which you'll still run into people that I still run into people at a gym or a personal trainer that are like, I eat butter for breakfast because fruit is bad for you because it's all sugar. So, like, you can't escape it. Like, I promise you can't escape it. Someone's always going to be doing something crazy. But I think, so going into corporate America, these would be my biggest tips for you. So balancing health and fitness in your life. So one, again, you have to have the conversations. You have to have the conversations with your family, with your friends, with your partner, whoever it may be, whoever's in your life. You have to have the conversations at work. I took way too long to admit to coworkers what I was doing when I could have been progressing. And I promise you, yes, I have two sides of this. I have a workplace that was absolutely heinous about it and judged me for it and thought I was they just hated me in general because I was a female and I was smart. But that's for another episode. You know who you are. And so then I've had a workplace that is so interested in my bodybuilding journey. They're so considerate about everything, and they're proud to talk about me in regards of, that's what I do. And they see that as a discipline thing, things like that. So believe me, I've done it both ways. It's not like, oh my gosh, all my coworkers are just so happy that I don't eat with them. Like, I've been through the ringer too, but you have to have the conversation. It's very easy to have the conversation. Do it from day one too. The moment you start a new job, start it right there. It's much harder.
Anytime you go somewhere new,
yes,
even if it's not even a job, just like meeting someone, people always ask,
talk about it.
What are some hobbies? What do you do and stuff? Well,
I'm really into health and fitness. I bodybuild.
Health and fitness. I track my food, so I'm not one to. I'm always meal prepping, doing all this and that. Like, let them know.
Yes.
And like tell them about it. And you're gonna get questions like, well, why, or like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, explain it to them, and then it's either they're cool and they won't say anything, or they'll be encouraging, or whatever. You'll get people that will like laugh at you and be like, "Oh, so you're too good to go out with us?" Well, yeah, because I don't want that.
Yeah, I am.
Like, get over it.
I don't hate myself when I look in the mirror, so whatever. Yeah. You just have the conversation right away. Like, that's the biggest thing I can tell you is as soon as you want to go on this journey, whether if you're currently in your job and you've worked there for 8 years, have the conversation now. But especially if you start a new job, have the conversation right there. That's exactly what I've did with both of my last 2 jobs. And like I said, unfortunately, one took it way better than the other. But just say it, very first day, literally for not the job I have right now, but my shit job that I left in July. If you need to charge your phone, don't go there. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I can't say anymore, but just y'all can put the pieces together, okay? Literally the day that I went in to sign my offer letter before I was even employed, they were like, can we order you lunch? And I was like, hey, like, just FYI, I'm a bodybuilder. Like, I would love to sit and eat lunch with you guys, but for me, like, I'd bring my lunch. And they were like, oh, okay. At the time, they seemed cool about it. They hated it, but whatever. But literally before I even had the job, like, they knew that was a part of me. And then, from there, they they wouldn't ask me things, but they'd make like snarky comments, whatever. But they kind of stopped asking like if I wanted lunch or coffee or whatever. It was just a known thing. Like they would give me shit about it, but whatever. So they at least knew. Okay, like they at least knew and whatever. My now job, I did exactly the same thing. As soon as I came in for my first day, the GM like wanted to take me out to lunch, and he was like, "Hey, let's go out to lunch." And I was like, "Hey, like, I don't mean this," and this is the exact conversation I said. I said, "Hey, like, I don't want this to be disrespectful at all." I said, something about me is I'm a bodybuilder. I'm very serious about my routine with my nutrition and things like that. So I know taking, a new hire out to lunch is typically like a respect gesture and things like that. I said, but for me, I'm totally okay not going. I packed my lunch for today. I'm completely fine. Is that okay if we don't go? And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Absolutely not." He was like, "We just typically do that with new hires, but if you don't want to go, like, I'm not going to force you to go." And that was day one. And then from there on, I'm pacing, doing laps in the hallway. I brought my walking pad into work. It's under my desk. I go out to corporate functions and I don't drink alcohol. I'm very vocal about that I don't drink, that I don't typically indulge in American eating habits and like things like that. And they've now, when they go out to order lunch, sometimes they'll ask me because they still feel bad. They're like, "What if Olivia says yes?" But when I say no, they're like, "Yeah, we just didn't want you to feel like left out." But I'm never pressured on anything. So just have those conversations with coworkers. And like, I am a regional human resource manager for my job, and so I travel. I'm supposed to travel once a month, but I've traveled like 5 back-to-back weeks, so it's okay. But when I go to a new site, I have to have that conversation every single time. Like, it's awkward to whip frozen ground beef and sweet potatoes out of my suitcase in a conference room. Like, it is. But like, you know what's more awkward is telling my coach that I didn't stay on plan. That's more awkward in my opinion. But or knowing that I could have done something better getting onto stage, or what's more awkward is knowing that I had the capability to do so and then me not liking how I look at my clothes or feel or whatever that may be. So I have to have those conversations literally everywhere I go. So,
and like when you do that, even if you don't know it, no one says anything, I will almost guarantee it, like, someone's watching and taking notes and is inspired and like,
100%.
I'm gonna start doing that.
100%. I've had so many freaking people. One, I post about it obviously online because health and fitness is what I do for work. And I want people, even normal people, to see that and know that this is weird and this is why we do it. But I have had so many people, like when I travel in groups with my team, that they'll do like an icebreaker of like something somebody doesn't know about you, and people will point out that I'm a bodybuilder to other people. Like, that's the level of like respect and care that these people will have for you. Just have a conversation with them. Don't be shy about it. If anything, I mean, my manager right now, all the time, anytime somebody meets me for the first time, he always talks about how I'm a bodybuilder. And, he always he's so invested in my journey. He's so interested. And he always says, like, it's just a testament to discipline. Like, that's something you should be proud of. Like, that, that really shows, like, how much, when you care about something, the lengths that you go to do that. So, in the corporate world, also as someone who hires, I look for student athletes. I look for people who are disciplined. Like, when I'm reviewing resumes, if I see an athlete, if I see, bodybuilding's not typically on a resume, but like if someone said that in an interview, like, that says a lot about a person. So you shouldn't be afraid to talk about those things. And yes, you will have people that don't like you and disagree with you. But I telling you this now, from the people that have said it to me in the past from my previous workplace, the people that have a problem with you doing those habits are the people that wish that they could do it, are miserable in themselves, and are jealous. Those are the people that have something to say about you wanting to stay on plan and not indulge in unhealthy eating habits in the workplace.
Period.
I
So
never
true.
met somebody that's achieved more than me or had a better routine than me that's hated on me for doing that. I've never had somebody that's won a show or is in great health condition judge me for that. I've had a lot of people on the other spectrum say that. So, Do with that what you will, I guess. But yeah, I mean, have the conversation in your work environment. That's a big one for sure.
Definitely.
And just don't feel awkward about bringing your stuff. So,
No, like freaking what? Until right before, like our age, so right before we started our career jobs.
yeah.
What did you do almost every single day? You were in school most of the time. Bring your lunch.
Right. Why is it
Like,
awkward to bring your lunch in the
it's
workplace?
not that big of a deal. Like, okay, it doesn't matter if your job you make hella money and you can afford going out all the time or not. Like, why would I want to spend $15-$20 every day for lunch when I can just make my lunch that I enjoy, I like, I know it's in it what's good for me, and enjoy it. Just bring it myself.
For like $2.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think the next piece of that is the time thing. So I kind of went on a tangent in the beginning about saying I don't have time. I get it. Everybody has a very different definition of busy. Like, I do get that. Like, I am anal. Like, I understand it. Like, that's my ADHD. I love to stay busy. But there are so many ways you can do things. I'm not sitting here on a Sunday doing crazy meal prep. What typically happens, this week's a little bit different because I'm traveling, so things are a little bit different. But I'm going to run you through some scenarios of, what you can do when you say you don't have time. How do we cook chicken usually?
Toss in the crock pot and go to bed.
When does it cook?
Overnight.
While we're asleep?
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. That's like actually so crazy. Like, your meal prep can cook while you're asleep. Guess what else you could do? Throw potatoes in there. Guess what else you could do? Throw vegetables in there. And then bing, bang, boom, it's your entire meal.
Mm-hmm.
While you sleep. Literally while you sleep. Okay? Buy a 15-pack of yogurt from Costco for $11 and then get frozen blueberries that'll sit in your fridge, and you can put them in Ziploc bags. It'll take approximately 3 minutes, and then you can mix them together. Or you can mix protein powder with pancake mix and batch make your own protein pancakes, because protein pancakes are expensive. And then put them in bags and put them in the freezer and toss them in the microwave for a minute and a half and eat them on your way to work. No utensils required. Or,
I mean, some people, you just like to eat with your fingers.
I don't like syrup usually. Fun fact about me. But, guess what else? You can make a smoothie, and you can actually pre-portion out the ingredients in a Ziploc bag so that we can just pour it in the thing and add milk, and boom, bang, boom, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And then for breakfast, you can also bring your cream of rice and your protein powder and your peanut butter to work with you and leave it there, and you can make it in the microwave at work. Oh my gosh, like, that's so crazy. I never thought of that one. And then for lunch, guess what? That's your crock pot chicken coming into play, and boom, frozen vegetables. You just put them in the microwave, and guess what? They make rice that you don't even have to cook, that's just in a package that you put in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it cooks itself. Or you can bring canned soup and just make your own more crockpot chicken, and then just have the soup container and add more of your own chicken into the soup to make it higher protein. Or you can do like a little taco bowl that, again, your ground beef, guess what? You can cook in the crock pot. You can make chili in the crock pot. Literally, crock pot saves my life. Or guess what? You put your meat and your carb and your veggies on a sheet, and you put it in the oven, and it cooks in the oven while you're doing something else. That it takes approximately 20 minutes, and you put it in a container. And then guess what? That chicken that you put in the crock pot while you were sleeping, guess what? You can utilize that for dinner. You can make pasta that takes, 7 to 9 minutes to cook pasta. And then you get a jar of sauce. And then guess what? Boom, you pull your crock pot chicken out of the fridge. And then you put the chicken on the pasta. And then you stir it up, and you have dinner in less than 10 minutes.
Bing, bang, boom.
I barely scratched the surface of what you can do. Guess what else? If you really don't have time for your meals to cook while you sleep, guess what? I'm sure there's a local meal prep company.
Mm-hmm.
I typically don't recommend that just because it is a little bit pricier. But if you're someone who like me, who pays for convenience sometimes, go for it. Guess what? I can walk into Fit Flavors here and buy bulk cooked chicken, bulk cooked potatoes, bulk cooked rice, bulk cooked green beans. Guess what? You want to be bougie? They got pre-made meals with the macros and the calories on them. I had like breaded chicken and green beans and mashed potatoes, and it was so fire. Guess what? Bring those home. Put them in the freezer. Those hoes go in your suitcase so easily. Guess what? They also just microwave in the microwave like your freaking 900-calorie lasagna that you can get from Kroger. can
keep
argue
going.
on this all day. All day. All freaking day. Like, guess what else? Okay, you don't have time to go to the grocery store. One, make a list. You can be in and out in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, like if I'm going to the store,
King,
you laugh
I'm
at me
bad about this.
because you want to go up and down every
I
single
love grocery
aisle.
shopping,
And
low key.
no, like it is. If it's a day where you're tired or you're just exhausted, like stay home. What do we need? I'm in and out of that store in 10 minutes tops.
Max. And
then,
that's
'cause
like
I'll
full
get-
grocery shop, bro.
I'll get there and come back, and she'll be like, "Well, did you even go?"
I'm
Yeah.
like, that was fast.
Like grocery store shopping does not take long. Just make a list,
Right.
go in, get what you need, and get out.
Right. I want to see a screenshot of your screen time on your phone.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up because so yeah, meal prep can be extremely easy and quick. But okay, now there's times where
You want to make nicer meal prep.
so like for our dinner tonight, it takes about 20-30 minutes to
Right.
prep it, cook it before we eat.
It would also take 20-30 minutes to leave and go through the drive-thru and come home.
that, but also like you and I could both at the same time easily push that off and get distracted and scroll through TikTok right
For
here on
30
this
minutes.
couch for 30 minutes easily.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
put your phone down.
Yep.
Like I get you come home, you want to have downtime, set an alarm on your
Right.
phone. Give yourself 15, 20, however long you want.
Yep.
But when have discipline and stop. And then tell yourself, I got shit I got to do.
Get him, King. Get him, King. Yeah. No, listen. Like, I want to see your screen time. I want to see the screen
Or
time.
I don't have time in the morning to do anything. Wake up earlier.
Yep.
I hate waking up. I can go to bed at 9 o'clock tonight and sleep till noon the next day.
Yeah.
I hate waking up early.
Yeah.
However, bitch, we wake up every day at 5 a.m. to go and get our workout out of the way.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way before work. Or even if it's we don't wake up at 5 because we got a rest day. All right, we were waking up at 6:30 or 7.
Yeah.
Only an hour or so later to wake up and get our food for the day ready.
Yep.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Like, it is. You need to have discipline, and it's going to be uncomfortable. I hate doing it,
Yeah.
but once I do it every day,
You've never regretted it.
every single day, every morning, even still, I wake up, I'm annoyed. I don't want to be up right now. But once I'm up and I'm moving, and
You're
towards
glad
the
you're
end
up.
of the day, I'm glad I did that.
Yep.
I feel good.
Yep.
Like,
Would you
and,
rather
like, you
have
see the-
10 more minutes of satisfaction in the morning? Would you rather have feel more comfortable for an hour sleeping in the morning, or feel more proud and confident for yourself for the other 23 hours?
Mhm. Yeah, okay. And then if you don't do it before work, okay, after work, we need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
We need to go work out and go do cardio.
Yep.
But I had a long day and I'm tired. Well, that's too damn
The
bad.
judges don't care if you
Like,
had a long day.
You do it.
Yes.
Like, even then, it's hard, and then
Yeah.
and it might be later in the evening when we usually get to dinner or whatever.
Right.
But I feel good. I'm
Yeah.
glad I did it.
Yeah.
I might have hated it, and it might have been hard, but
Yeah.
it's not easy. There's not a single thing about it that's going to be.
And that's that's why so many little people do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not going to be handed to you. And another thing, too, is it's going to feel like a lot to you if you've never done it. So, like, me sitting here telling you all these things, you're probably like, Olivia, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. Because you have to change your schedule. So a lot of people get in the idea of, like, I don't have time because they're trying to do it on the current schedule that they have. Like, I could sit here and say I work 9 to 5, or I could sit here and say I typically work like 9 to 8. Like, either 9 to 8 or 9 to 9, low-key sometimes if check-ins are later, even later. But I typically work like 9 to 7:30. Like 9 to 7:30, 9 to 8, basically. I could say I don't have time because I'm not willing to move that 9 o'clock start back, or I'm not willing to push that work time later to be able to get other stuff done. So if I just look at that and I'm trying to keep my same schedule, then yes, I am not going to be able to do it. But if you don't change, the way you look won't change, the way you feel won't change, the way you act won't change, the results that you get won't change. You have to do something that you've never done to look like you never have.
It's not easy. It's hard, and it's definitely uncomfortable at first.
Yep.
But off the rip, you will feel rewarding. Like it will feel good. Like you will feel like you may not have the physique you want yet. You just started.
But you're just gonna feel
However,
on top of
you're
the world.
gonna feel like I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, it also just builds the trust in yourself. Like this is something I tell my clients too. That I talk a lot about, with setting initial goals. It's like, one, set realistic goals with yourself in the beginning to build that trust in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you trust yourself, you will feel so much more comfortable and confident going into any situation than thinking of yourself in the, well, I've never stuck to it before, or I've never been able to do this before.
When it comes to like you're planning your day, tracking, taking your food, your lunch with you to work, all of that, it's going to be weird and uncomfortable, but give yourself 3 weeks straight without taking a day off doing it. And after those 3 weeks, you'll be like, this is easy. I got it. It will become a habit and a routine where you're like, okay, it's not as hard as I thought.
Yep. Teacher, I want to say something. I'm trying to be better about not interrupting.
You're fine.
My other thing I want to say is for my people that say I don't have time. Do you pre-plan your food? Or are you trying to eat something different every day? Are you trying to, if it fits my macros every day? Because I can sit here and tell you right now, I know every single thing I'm going to be eating until Saturday.
Yeah. We used to.
Dude, don't get us started. We are
when
gangsters
we first started, it was like, okay, what are we doing for lunch Monday? What are we doing for dinner Monday? Now Tuesday. At the very beginning, we did that for maybe a week or two before we realized
it's impossible.
No.
I will agree with you. That's hard.
And now, right now, the food we like it so much, so we do the same thing for lunch every day and dinner every day.
We've just been okay being simple. But
however, for the longest time, how we used to do it, it would
you tell the people this one. This is a good one.
What do you want for breakfast? Breakfast is easy. We're gonna eat the same
thing breakfast
every day.
Yep.
All right. Lunch is pretty much gonna be the same thing every day.
Yeah.
You could throw maybe
we did good sauces on our stuff.
Yeah. But dinner, be okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tuesday, Thursday, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
And then we would go ahead, swipe to, go to MyFitnessPal. All right, let's go to Monday, let's put it all in.
Yep.
All right, now Tuesday, let's put it all in. So those are our 2 meals.
Yep.
And then we're okay, before we go to the store, we're going to make our list.
Yep.
We know exactly how much we need to get and everything. In and out, let's go.
Yep.
Or if you're there, up and down every aisle. But we knew exactly how much. And then, because at first we were buying
so much food, and we wouldn't eat it. We'd waste food, and we were wasting so much money. I know y'all don't want to spend that much on groceries in this economy either. Neither do I.
That's why, I remember always thinking, people who shop at Costco or Sam's Club, if you don't have a big family, don't go. However,
we're a family of 2 and we go.
Yeah, because buy in bulk.
Yep.
If you buy in bulk, and we bought
meat and produce is what we buy.
Yes, ground beef. We
buy 8 pounds of ground beef at a time.
Yeah, and
it's only $28.
Yeah, and I divided it up.
10 freezer bags right there.
And freezer bags. It took me not even 10 minutes to divide it up, and then. Boom.
It's 10 ounces in each bag, and that's 5 ounces for me and 5 ounces for you at dinner.
I get in the freezer every morning, or you do too, to grab our frozen blueberries.
Yeah.
All right. When I'm in there, I grab the beef. I toss it in the fridge. During the day, it's slowly thawing out.
Yep.
So then, come dinner, just toss it on the stove, cook it real fast, done.
Yep.
It's not hard. You just have to plan.
Yeah, you have to plan. I'm so glad you brought that up because I literally forgot. But that's the thing is we would spend, obviously it is an adjustment in the beginning. It is going to take longer in the beginning being able to track your food that easily, pre-planning. But it's a game of Tetris. You have to try. The thing with that also is the foods that you're currently consuming, if they're not meeting your macros, aren't just going to magically start meeting your macros. Like, you're going to have to change your food sources.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to change your food source. It's not like, oh, I need my fat intake increased because I keep going over it. Don't go, like, change your food sources.
Like, we got, like...
You have to be okay changing.
It was at one point where we were like, we really want this for dinner.
Yeah.
And, like, this is what we're doing. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get everything in. All right, let's go ahead and put it in our fitness pal.
So we built it around
now we need to change. Our lunch and breakfast is going to be different because what we were doing for lunch and breakfast is too much.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get everything you want for every meal. You're going to have to learn to adapt and change.
Yeah. And that's just the reality of it. Like, if you're someone who has a busy schedule, you do all these things, you have to make it simple for yourself. And you have to give yourself no room to fail. Like, you have to plan for success. Like, I can literally pull up my MyFitnessPal right now, and it's got all the food I'm eating today, and I'm not even halfway through the day. It's got everything that I'm eating tomorrow and everything through Saturday.
Yeah, we used to do it. You were better on your phone.
On paper.
I literally would write it out on paper. I had Monday breakfast, what I was eating
on the fridge.
Like, every single thing. If I had a sauce, the sauce and how much I need. Lunch, dinner, and then like if I had snacks or whatever, it was all on there. So I knew exactly what I needed to eat Monday, Tuesday, 7 days of the week. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yep. I mean, imagine, I'm traveling for work this week. Do you think I'm going to have time to like think about, okay, well, I had this for breakfast. I need to have this. No. And I'm not going to have time to do that while I'm working my job either. And so take the maybe 10 minutes and, I'm not telling you to eat the same food every single day. Like, I'm not telling you that. That's why we did what we did, because at that time we were both lifestyle, but we were still, we cared. We wanted to change. And that's the difference, is you have to want to change. So you have to change. And so we did, the same breakfast, the same lunch. But then we alternated dinners. So we'd pick 2 dinners, and Monday night we'd have the burgers. Tuesday night was pesto pasta, and then burgers again, then pesto pasta. Sometimes we do 3.
And then it's like there's times where like we enjoyed it so much. Well, let's just do that.
Do it
again.
every night.
But like let's do this again next week.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like, so it's easy. And then it's like when we would buy groceries, like we would always still have like burgers. We would still have.
We have a little bit left over.
We would have it on Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And we can only buy a package of 6. We had 4, so we only had 2. So it's like we don't need to buy, like, we wouldn't be buying as much next time if we did the same thing. But yeah, it's just.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big part, is planning,
that and
caring.
Like, one thing I loved eating was those Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches.
The delights, yeah.
Yes. However, like, I got to a point where it's like I couldn't fit those in my macros, but I love breakfast sandwiches.
We made our own.
So I just made my own.
And we wrapped them in aluminum foil and put them in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't, I feel like I couldn't do sandwiches, so we did burritos.
Yeah.
Bought a low-calorie, freaking nothing tortillas.
Yeah.
Just wrapped them up, tossed them in
the freezer. And that way you had more protein in it, too.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so we would make them, and it was so much cheaper to do it that way.
Heck,
yeah, you just wrap them in aluminum foil, freeze them, and then you just toss them in the freaking microwave for 2 minutes before you go to work, and you can eat them on your way to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, it's just, it really comes down to,
you need a plan.
Planning and caring and effort, and like, get yourself out of the mindset of I will try, say I will do it. Like, not the I hope, I try, it's that I will and I'm going to. Like, get yourself in that mindset. I promise you can. I promise you, I lived the life that you did at some point. I was overweight. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know how to do this stuff. I wasn't happy in my skin. I didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't know how to do this stuff. I didn't get here by luck. I did not get here by luck. So if you look at my YouTubes, if you look at my podcast, if you look at my Instagram, you say, she's so lucky, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. Because we used to sit here uncomfortable as fuck in our skin, writing on that piece of paper, manually doing our macros, because we were going to figure out how the fuck to feel better about ourselves. and how to look the way that we wanted to. So we did that on paper, and we found a way for us to be able to do it and did the uncomfortable stuff. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's what separates the people. Bodybuilding aside, health, lifestyle, bodybuilding, whatever freaking journey you're in, you have to make changes. So yes, I do things to the extreme. You are not a bodybuilder, and you still follow that regimen. And my most successful clients follow that regimen as well too. I'm gonna cry. So don't say she's so lucky. She's so lucky she looks like that. She's so lucky she did that. I am telling you this from sitting in your seat that you're probably in right now. It is not luck. I could sit here and look the exact same, feel exactly the same way because I didn't change. I didn't do anything. So.
Yeah. And we, like, there's foods and stuff, like, we enjoyed and had to cut out, too.
Yeah.
And it's like, but, and it was hard because then, we got those cravings for it.
Yeah.
But, like, it took no time at all. Like, okay, I could destroy every single day some soft pretzels, like any ants. We got one. I can walk past it now, not a problem.
Right.
Like, it doesn't. But me 2-3 years ago, if I'm walking past it, I'm getting it.
Right.
Like we used to, like when we first moved in, all the time for breakfast. What we would like, let's make cinnamon rolls.
Right.
Or whatever. It's like, can't do it.
And those are things now we have on occasions or
Mhm.
special occasions, things like that. So it's not nothing.
Like we did, yeah.
There's not a single food that we can never have again in our life. But the reality is the reality is just, you can have those things, but in true moderation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's a good tangent for me.
Yep.
Wow. No, we gangstered it out for a long time and figured out how to make it work.
It was like we grinded in the beginning. Like it was, and there was times where we were like, this is what we want. We'll write it down. Putting in. Nope, didn't work. Let's try again.
Yep.
What are we cutting out?
We'd sit there with that damn piece of paper.
This is the meal we want. What are we cutting out? Like there's something we're going to have to sacrifice and cut out.
Yep.
I remember looking at a full week, and I'm like, I want every single thing. I don't want to cut anything out. But it didn't fit. Yeah. So, how to cut it out.
And then you could have that the next week instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you have to come to that realization. So that's a lot of stuff that goes into like with having a full-time job, but also just having the full-time job, but also hitting your shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as working out goes, one, make a schedule that makes sense for you. If you're a nurse that's working 4 10s, you don't need to be working out 5-6 times a week. Do 3 or 4, right? If you're somebody who works a 9 to 5, still a 4-day split's beautiful. So many people think I need to work out 5, 6, 7 times a week. I promise you, if you're lifting 6 times a week, you're not lifting hard enough, and I promise you, you're not recovering. I promise you that. I've lifted 5 times a week, and I struggled like nobody's business to recover. Find a split that works for you, and find a routine that works for you, whether that's working out in the morning or working out in the afternoon. Find something that you can stay consistent with. And one of those, it might be an adjustment for you to get used to for the one being consistent if you have to like switch to the mornings or switch to the evenings. But build that routine. I know you're not going to miss that meeting on your Outlook calendar. Why are you missing the gym?
Mm-hmm.
Schedule it in just like a meeting on your calendar with your boss. It should be more important for you to take care of yourself than to go take care of other people all day. And that's a boundary I've set with, my job as well too, is, my boss knows I start work at a certain time because in my morning, that is like my non-negotiable, and that's my work-life balance. I have to get this stuff done, and I leave work. I'm a little bit more lenient on leaving work, just depending upon what I have, but I still have to leave at a time to be able to get my stuff done. Do not spend your life putting everything to this company that will replace you and have your job posted within probably 24 to 48 hours after you leave. I promise you they will. Even if they are a good company, they still have to fill that spot without taking care of yourself. Set the work-life balance. I promise you, I'm in HR. I do a lot of very important things, right? I am a very, very valuable asset to the company. I'm not saving lives. Why am I tripping over like my hours, right? Like I do what I do. I get my shit done. But I'm getting there when I need to get there because my morning is important and I have to get my shit done. And you have to realize that and stop feeding into all of this. I have to be there all the time and work 70 hours, things like that. And even my people at different jobs, you just have to make it also fit your job. I have so many clients that are deployed, that are in the Army, that are police officers.
You have a lot of first responders and
first
a lot
responders,
of
nurses. I love my group. It's literally like all first responders, military, nurses. I have some teachers in there, like corporate girlies, things like that. They all have different routines and protocols because they all have different expectations. So you need to also be realistic in your expectations with that. So I think that's a big piece of balancing it as well is don't try to copy the routine of your favorite fitness influencer who works from home all day. Like I use example all the time. Like me and my friend and boss McKenna, we both went through prep together, and we were on the same exact prep timeline. She owns her coaching business, so she works from home. I worked my 9 to 5, and I also worked coaching. Our approaches to prep looked very different. Like her cardio got higher than mine. Because my time constraints for my cardio were a big piece of that. And so like my food got lower, whatever that may be, and like the length of time, things like that. Our workout schedule looks different. Our meal timing looks different. That's not to say one is better than the other. It's not. We both got to the same goal and did very well. But the realistic thing is that our days look completely differently because we live two completely different lives, but we're still working towards the same goal. So I would never look to her and say, I'm going to copy her routine. And she would never look to me and say, I'm going to copy her routine because we live two very different lives. We're both trying to achieve results, but we both have two very different lives. So stop trying to copy these people's routines that live a completely different life than you. So that's my 2 cents.
You said it.
This was a good episode today. Wow. You got anything else?
Nope. I'm good.
Well, if you don't feel inspired after listening to that, then maybe we need to have a chat. He obviously is not inspired because he's asleep. He's just mad at me because he's on a diet right now. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and thanks for watching.
See ya.
Peace.